Awesome. Eric Schmidt, Family First Life. Today is St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone. I'm not wearing green, neither is Jordan. I think you might have green eyes, though, Jordan.
I do.
Um, you do. All right. Well, there you go. You're built in.
Right.
So Jordan from Seekonk, Massachusetts, has been with us for a short time. And when I got asked to do this call tonight, I said I'm only going to do it if Jordan can hop on and be with me because Jordan is an amazing young man that's really putting everything into this. And so, Jordan, introduce yourself, okay? I don't want to take anything away. Obviously, age, where you're from, what you were doing prior to this, why this, why still this, how come you haven't quit, what's working, what's not working. I'm going to take some notes if you guys don't have a pen and paper out or your handy dandy plowed recorder. I love this thing. Love this thing. Get ready to record, take some notes, and we're going to go over why getting uncomfortable is the most important thing to get comfortable with. And actually, I think I can turn this thing off, right? I know I can, but I don't want to F it up. Oh, stop sharing screen. That's all I got to do. All right, cool. All right, awesome. Here we go, Jordan. So let her rip, Jordan. And appreciate you being on, man.
Thank you for having me, Eric. So my name is Jordan. I'm 20 years old. I'm from Massachusetts over in Seekonk. It's about like 10 minutes from Providence, Rhode Island, if you guys ever heard of Rhode Island. And basically the way I got into this industry was I graduated high school 18 years old, 17 years old, and then I went into electrical. I knew I didn't want to go to college. I knew I just wanted to start working right off the bat. You know, I've seen a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of Instagram videos on young people making a lot of money, and that truly like inspired me to just get into like the entrepreneur space. So my original plan was to become an electrician, make a boatload of cash, and then invest into real estate. But that takes like 10 to 20 years, sometimes 30. And then come to find out I didn't really like electrical. Just mindset is everything for me, and being in an environment where people are constantly like doubting you and telling you, oh, you know, you should do this, you should do that. I didn't like that at all. So and that was the electrical mindset or the trades mindset. And I don't want to like, you know, talk bad about tradesmen or anything because they're the one that keeps everything running. But it's just not for me. So while I was doing electrical, I actually started buying a couple vending machines, and through my
What,
vending,
what
I
are
used to
vending
sell to
machines
about
for those? What are vending machines for people that never even know they don't even know what you're talking about?
yeah. So vending machines is something that you'd find at like a doctor's office or an office, and you can buy snacks or candy and soda. And so I bought about like 12 of those over a course of time while I was doing electrical. And vending machines are very expensive. They're about like $4,000 to $5,000, and the maintenance is very expensive, and you got to move them. And if a location's not doing good, then you got to pay a guy to move it to another location. So it just became um, very not productive for my business, right? So it got to the point where I was like, you know, I'm just gonna go all in on vending machines. At probably around like 7 or 8 vending machines, I did that. And then while I was doing the machines, I had this guy reach out to me on Instagram. So for all of you guys that don't think Instagram works or reach out doesn't work, it definitely does. And he said, hey, you know, come work for me. I have a team down in Florida, Miami, and then come it was another company before this. And then apparently you can't get hired, right? So they didn't have a Massachusetts license. So with that company, they couldn't hire me because they don't have a Mass license. So I went through the onboarding and everything, and I waited for about 3 or 4 months, and I was waiting to, you know, get started, and they never started me. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna take matters into my own hands. And I looked up Family First Life near me, and Eric Schmidt and Family First Life Northeast popped up. And I was like, you know what? It's an hour 30, hour 40 out, but whatever, I don't even care. I'm just gonna start driving over there. And, you know, I couldn't ask for a better group. I started driving over there, and Eric and everyone in the office, John, they all helped me out. and was super supportive. So that's how I kind of got into the industry.
That's awesome. So going back to the vending machine, so that was a significant investment for a young person, laying those out and understanding, where to market and have to manage them and you know go to Costco or BJ's or Sam's Club, whatever, to get the junk to go in there to charge it all up. So like how many hours a week when not in the very beginning, but after you got that business going a little bit, the vending machine business, how much were you like, what was your upfront investment? Because we always talk about the barrier of entry into this business, right, Dave? And like what it costs to get into this. Now, so what did it like? You were talking some big numbers there. So what did it cost to get involved or invested or started in vending machines? And what were you at your peak? What were you earning net after your weekly expenses and stuff?
Yeah, so I mean, it was each, like I said, each machine is about 4 or 5 grand. So just to get one machine in one location, like 5 grand out of pocket, and then you got to stock the machine. That's like another grand because you have to go buy groceries, and then you have to buy a card reader, which is like another, $750, and then they take money out of each transaction. So, um, it's about like almost 6 grand just to get your first machine, and then you put it in a location, and hopefully the location doesn't want a commission from you. And then sometimes the location doesn't even do well, so you just wasted that 6 grand. Where now you have to buy, well, you didn't waste it, but now you have to hire a mover and for like $500 to take your chance and put it into another location that may or might not work. um
So even at its lowest, level, one machine, 4, 5, 6,000, with a hope and a prayer that it's going to do well, or you're going to put another 4, 5, 6, $700 in to move it to another place that might do well, right? So
exactly.
when you learned about life insurance and you got your license, and obviously you're on the bench for a while, and then you looked us up and found us. When you heard about the what it took to get involved in this business, and what the return was and how quickly, and you didn't have to worry about a bad area because you control the whole area. You can get leads from wherever. So tell us a little bit about that, Jordan.
Right, yeah. So it was a no-brainer. I mean, I can sell insurance anywhere. I can sell it in my car, on my phone, anytime, any day. If someone's in California and I'm on the East Coast, I can, be working late. So it was like, it was a no-brainer, really. Why wouldn't I do it? So this was definitely the best opportunity, and from being in this space, going to convention and everything, like this truly is the craziest, most fun company ever, even though, I mean, we're a company, I guess, but we're a team, right? This is the
Yeah.
coolest thing.
So, yeah, I remember one day you were driving to the office, and I want to talk about that in a moment. You were driving here. It's an hour and a half each way. You were here every single day. You were the first one here. I tried to beat you, but you were the first one here. You were always the last one to leave. I'm like, all right, dude, you got the lights. I gotta, you're like, yeah, I got them. And one day you're running late. I'm like, well, dude, I beat Jordan. And you took a picture. You were at a gas station. Like, I'm writing a policy. I'm at a gas station. And you took a picture of like Cumberland Farms to prove it. That was awesome. So why was it important for you to get in an office? Because you're not required to go to an office, right? I'm here every day, but you're not required to go to an office. Why did you feel, for you, and we're all independent, we can all do what we want. Why did you feel it was important to get around other, Hall of Fame producers or in that type of environment?
Yeah, because in an office, you get to see how people act, how they move. I mean, your mindset, Eric, it really has inspired me, just your drive and everything. And it's like, being around people like that, competitive people, it made me want to be competitive as well. So, like, if you're doing at a certain level, all I have to do is just mimic you, and then I'll be doing it at that level as well.
Yeah, and I think with the velocity of lock-in coming up and the Orlando lock-in coming up, like if you don't have an office at a reasonable driving distance from you, now remember Jordan drove 90 minutes each way every day for a minimum of you did that for what, 3, 4 months minimally, right,
Yeah,
Jordan?
yeah,
And you bought steak and cheese next door every single day without vegetables. That was you had to have your steak and cheese every single day. I
yeah.
bought a lot for you. I felt bad. I'm like, man, he's coming all his way. I got to get him a steak and cheese. No vegetables though. And Jen keeps asking where you are, by the way. I say he'll be back.
I will.
Um, that's why I like these lock-ins that are coming up, and the one that just passed. And I want to hear about your experience in Vegas, right, Jordan?
Mhm.
But before we touch on that, let's touch on national convention. I know we're a little bit out on national convention. We're whatever, month and a half removed or whatever. But 19 years old because you just had a birthday, right? Happy birthday. Tell us, why you went to convention. I know I encourage you to do it, but dude, you're a young guy. You know, what I mean, saying, tell us a little bit about that and your experience at convention.
Yeah, convention was definitely awesome. I mean, go out there, take that risk, and like it's like I was staying at a pretty nice hotel, so I spent about like $3,000, but I did it for a reason to get around certain people and just being in the space and staying later than you're supposed to at the convention, just trying to talk to everyone, try to squeeze out as much juice as you can. And like taking all the notes, I still go back to my convention notes, and I mean, honestly, this was my first convention, and everyone says obviously the conventions just get better and better and better. But this was like the best event I've ever been to.
What was the like? So, what was one thing that you got out of convention that you like, man, just for that one nugget made all the sense in the world for me to go? What do you think that one thing was, if you have one thing?
Yeah, so I got a couple things. I mean, but the most important was like volume, like lead volume, especially if you're gonna work a lot, you need a lot to work. And then because the more people you get in front of, the more people you can help and the more money you'll make. And then IULs. So, obviously I got into this game doing final expense and I'm still in the transition period of going into IULs. But I think obviously that's the future, right? Even Sean Mike was talking about it, how he wants the company to be at a certain percentage, and we're all gonna do it. It's just, and that's where becoming like uncomfortable plays a factor too, because we might be so used to doing final expense, every single year we've been in the industry, and then we have to get a bit uncomfortable and learn something new and then sell something new. That's where we can truly grow and scale our business.
Unbelievable. So going back to the topic, right? Why getting uncomfortable is the most important thing you can do, right? So investing heavy in vending machines, even before you and I ever spoke, uncomfortable, right?
Mhm.
You know, then walking away from that, I'm guessing you sold that business to someone else, or you peeled away from that, and
Mhm.
then hooking up with someone in Florida, then finding out that they're not even can't even do business in Massachusetts. Crazy
Right.
uncomfortable and probably frustrating. Going on Google, making a blind call or text or email to us, right? Getting
Mhm.
connected, crazy uncomfortable, driving 90 minutes every day. Your mom's like, "Where are you going?" I'm going to Connecticut to see this
Right.
bald old guy who's gonna, give me some information. And then flying to Vegas, right? I mean to Texas. You can't even check into your own hotel room, right? We
No.
had to find someone that was 21 years old to you could rent the room, but they wouldn't let you go to the room because you were under 21. So Freddie Marichal, who was already out there, walked you up to your room so you can get into your room, right?
Mhm.
Crazy uncomfortable. Talking to thousands of people that you've never had any relationship with. You've seen them on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and podcasts and with Andrew Taylor and so on and so forth. Crazy
Mhm.
uncomfortable, getting better from it. You've written tens of thousands of business, in a short period of time that you've been with us, not knowing anything about telesales, right? So
Mhm.
crazy uncomfortable investing in leads. And now you recently were just at the Las Vegas lock-in,
Mhm.
where Trey was at, Dom was at, Sean was, I think, there. Obviously, Andrew was there. Tell us a little bit about your experience. I know Clint was there. I know Heather was there. I'm probably listening to some people, but tell us about your experience there and why did you go? Because I didn't even know you went, which is okay, But I'm looking at you on social. I'm like, is Jordan in freaking Vegas? What the hell's going on? So tell us a little bit about why you went, why you felt it was important to make that investment, what you got out of that.
Yeah, so I mean, first of all, I just kind of I'm all about self-improvement. I'm not going to Vegas to, gamble. I'm not even old enough to gamble or anything like that. But I truly I'm young. I want to travel, and if I can travel while doing it, like learning, then I'm gonna do so. So, I seen the Vegas opportunity come up and I was like, you know what? I never been to that side of America, so I'm gonna go down there. And I went down there and I've learned a lot. There was a lot of great people there. And mainly the main thing I got from it was, anybody can do it. There was a girl that was sitting right next to me and she was like, "Oh my God, I got my first deal. Let's go." And I'm like, "Oh, nice. Like good for her." And I look up on the board and her name is Liliana or something like that. It said 14,000. She was like third on the live leaderboard. And I was like, and it said one application. So I was like, what the heck? Like she just closed her first deal for $14,000. And like that just goes to show you the business opportunity in this space. And like that obviously was an IUL. So that's like another thing that's got me like, okay, Jordan, you need to start doing IULs. And then another thing I learned was patience, like just from, some of the people that went up there to talk, Heather, Jay, they were just like Jay was saying that he wasn't profitable until two years in. He spent every dime that he made for the first 2 years. And I'm like, I'm over here, kind of like beating myself up. It's like, Jordan, like you have to have this long-term vision. Nothing that's, there's no get rich quick scheme, like this is all gonna take time. And as long as you're consistent and disciplined, like everything is gonna line up.
That's awesome, dude. Now, I know when you were out there, once I saw that you were out there and we connected, um, tell us about the power of leads and that there is no expiration date on leads. Cause I know that I shared some leads with you, right? So talk about that for a minute.
Yeah. So you ended up calling me. You was like, "Hey, whereabouts are you in the world?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm in Vegas." And you're like, "Oh, shoot." And I'm like, and you were like, "Do you need anything, right?" And I said, "No, not really. I'm just working my leads that I got right now. But if you want to send me an H pack, you can." And you did. So thank you for that. And as soon as you sent me that H pack, I started dialing it right away. And on like the 10th person, I ended up helping him and served another family. So thank you. I mean, really any lead, like there is no expiration date on a lead. That was an age pack that you sent me. Um, I know some people buy dollar leads and they kill it. So it's really especially in the beginning, if you're starting off like as a new agent, you're 2 or 3 months in, buy aged leads just so you can, reinvest into your business.
So Jordan, and maybe I should have touched on this earlier, but like, what is it inside of you? Like, is it like how you were brought up? Because this is not no, you don't have to be special to do this, but like you have something inside you, some drive as such a young person. Like, where does that come from?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of my faith, and then also my parents. My mom, she grew up, working very hard for me and my sister, and my father, he was in the military, so, and he's a football coach, so it kind of ties hand to hand, and just the way I was raised, and then the things I want for my future too. Like, in high school, I had fun. And then I realized that's not what I want to be doing. I need to mature much faster. And I want to, eventually everyone wants a family in life. So in order for me to, do the things I want to do for my family, I need to start now. So I think that's where everything comes from, why I wake up in the morning and why I continue to work.
Love it, man. Love it. Guys, I'm going to open it up for some quick questions here for Jordan to answer. If you want to throw those in the chat as we start to wind down here, but tell us what you get out of being on Zoom live dials. Again, we talk about being uncomfortable so you can get comfortable. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. I know in the beginning, you're like, dude, do I got to be on Zoom? Do I have to have the camera on? Do I actually have to unmute? So talk to us about what that did for you, and why it was important, and why everyone should be doing that.
Yeah, it's very important because especially even when I was in the office and sometimes when you had to go to your daughter's basketball game or something like that and there was nobody in the office, luckily I was on the Zoom live dial. So if I had a question or um maybe I was just unmuted and I said something wrong, someone in the Zoom live dial, they'll correct me or they'll give me constructive criticism, which I very much appreciate, and I'll fix it for next time just so I can get better. So it's very
Awesome.
important. Yeah.
Awesome, 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 awesome. Um, so I want to talk about April 10th, one more time in a moment, but hey, Heather, crushing it, working every waking moment in the mountain time zone, right? Mountain time zone.
Yes, sir.
Very unknown that one county in Texas. What changes have you implemented since Vegas, or do you plan on implementing for you and your team?
Yeah, so Heather actually introduced me to a new how can I say idea, and she actually takes it another level to helping our veterans, where she helps them get actual VA benefits. So with Sergeant Michael
Major Jones.
yeah, Major Jones. So
Yeah.
Major Jones. So she sent me over a Google Doc and everything. And now if a veteran gives me a call and says, "Hey, I really can't afford this," then I have another step to take where I can actually serve that veteran.
Awesome. Love it. And I don't know actually it's what vetaccessvetbenefits.com, right, Heather? So if you want
Access
to
vet
drop that,
benefits. Yeah, I'll
yeah,
send it.
if you want to drop it, that'd be awesome. Thank you,
And
Heather.
and
Thank you, Jordan.
also another thing
Oh,
I'm implementing too is I'm starting to hand dial. So with the power dialer, I mean I'm not gonna knock on it or anything, but I thought I was doing a lot of dials, right? I thought I was doing 800 dials a day, 500 dials a day, but in reality it kind of just skips over. And I've started to implement today actually me just hand dialing, and I've noticed I've got so much more pickups. Um, and connection rates through actually hand dialing. So that's another thing that I implemented since Vegas.
oh, mix that in. Perfect. Terrence says, while the goal is, of course, to one call close, when you get in a situation where the client wants to schedule an appointment, how do you get them to commit to meeting that appointment? I have some thoughts on this too, but go ahead, Jordan.
Yeah, so there's a couple things I asked them. I try to keep them on the phone as long as I can until they
So
actually
here, so let's
hang
role
up.
play it. Let's role
Okay.
play it. Hey, Jordan, now's really not a good time. Can you call me back?
Yeah, of course. What's usually good for you in the morning or evenings?
I don't know, man. It's just I got a lot of doctor's appointments. I got angiograms. My wife's got appointments. I don't know. My dog's got to get his hair cut. I'm really busy.
No, I totally understand. That's no problem at all. I'm very busy too. I know this is something that was very important to you. I have an opening tomorrow around 4 p.m. Would that work with you and your wife?
I'd have to check with her, but we're usually available in the afternoon.
Okay, perfect. So I'll be giving you guys a call at 4 p.m. Just be on the lookout for any text that might come through. I'm gonna send you over my credentials and then some follow-up text.
Okay,
Now,
cool.
now let me ask you, are you good at keeping your appointments that you set?
Yeah, I guess I'm okay at it.
Okay, good. Me too. So I'll see you at 4 o'clock tomorrow.
Okay, cool. So what I would piggyback onto that is I always like to draw out Terrence, the beneficiary. Okay. Hey, so Jordan, I know you're busy. We're gonna get you on the calendar for the next day or so. But before I let you go, when you took the time to fill out this form, who did you have in mind for your beneficiary? My wife. Perfect. My wife, Carrie, is my beneficiary. What's your spouse's name? Her name is Beth. Perfect. So would you like Beth to be on this call with you tomorrow when we circle back, or does she not have to be on the call? So I would start going down that path because remember, the only reason why people typically fill these out is because of the beneficiary that they have in mind. So you want one of the last things that they're thinking about before you hang up with them, whether they're really busy or not, is the reason why they filled out the form in the first place, whether that was yesterday or 2 years ago, and getting that information on the beneficiary. Okay. And then I love how Jordan asks, hey, Bob, are you good about keeping the appointments that you set? Now, if I don't get a solid yes, so you give me a wishy-washy answer, Jordan, okay? Hey, Jordan, are you good? Hey, Jordan, before I let you go, I got you down tomorrow between 4 and 4:30. Are you good at keeping the appointments that you set?
It depends.
Got it. So depends are like diapers for old people. So I'm not really sure what that means. But are you good at keeping the appointments that you set? Now be wishy-washy again.
I mean, I might be doing something at that time. I'm not sure.
Perfect. I might be doing something as well, but I'm going to take time away from my family to help you and your family. So would that time between 4 and 4:30 work, or should we set a different time for both you and Beth to be on that call, Jordan?
Yeah, I guess we can do 4:30.
You guess you're definitely going to be there.
No, we'll be ready.
Okay, perfect. Because I'm going to be ready as well. I'll see you tomorrow between 4 and 4:30. Okay, guys, this is your only chance to have these people on the phone. So you better just lay it out all on the line, okay, and lock it down. And I'm sure there's a lot of other HOAs on here that, you know, have a lot of good tips, but that's really important when we're doing all telesales. So thanks for that. All right, so cool. So just to close this thing out, if anybody does have any other feedback, please lay it out in the chat and we'll bring it up. April 10th, okay, Millionaire with Sean, Palm Beach Convention Center. I know you're going. I know you bought your ticket a while back. You have your airfare, you have your room. If you need help getting to your room, I can definitely help you. I'll be around. I can get you up there because you're not 21 yet. I'm just messing with you. But why are you going to that event?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I mean, Sean kind of called me out on one of the calls. He said I better be there. So that's one of the reasons. And, you know, another reason is just being, I'm sure it's going to be a very intimate group. So, I mean, you know, who wouldn't want to be in a group with Sean, Mike, and learn from, you know, the leader of our company, you know?
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Hey, man, so give me a couple goals. You know, we got 11 months till we're out in Texas again. Give me some drop dead goals that you have that you know, the 100 or 200 people that are on here can hold you accountable for when they see you next.
Yeah, definitely want to hit Hall of Fame. Let's see. Definitely want to purchase my first like piece of property within this next year.
Okay, good.
Let's see. I also have yeah, I want to have a certain amount saved, about like, you know, 300,000 saved in my account.
Okay, I like that number.
Yeah, yeah. And let's see what else. I
Don't
mean,
get married or have kids, bro. You're not gonna have that much money in your account.
yeah, I need to wait on that. I need to hold off on that. And then also I want to build a team, at least like 10 writing agents by the end of the year.
Okay, so what are you doing? I'm glad you brought that up. What are you doing? I mean, I see you on social. You know, you definitely have turned the volume way up on social. But what are you doing to make sure that that drop dead goal of 10 writing agents that you're working with you hit? You know, so talk to us about that.
Yeah, so I'm making sure I post, you know, every sale that I make. I'm making sure I show the people what my life is like and, you know, what they're going to expect to join my team with. You know, my faith, me hitting the gym, me just being consistent every single day, you know, showing them that I'm worthy of, you know, like being a leader of. And so that's one thing. And then also I do outreach. I can do better on that. And another thing is just like honestly focusing on my personal production, because that's what's gonna really get people drawn to me. They don't care how, like, you can post all the Lamborghinis and all the cool stuff you're doing, but if you're not producing, they're not gonna care. They're not gonna join you. So that's the
Bank
biggest
statements
one.
definitely help. Bank statements
Yeah.
definitely help. Hey, man, amazing, Jordan. So
Mhm.
happy that we connected. So happy that we're in business together. I love being your partner.
Same
And
here.
Steven, I'm sure there's a lot of old leads that are in Florida. So I'm sure we can help you out with that. If you want to reach out to me directly, Steven, you can hit me on Instagram or Facebook. I'll see how I can help you. Okay. And if you are, I know that if you live in Florida, Steven, I know that if you get to Kissimmee in a like January, March 24th and 25th, I know there'll be some opportunities for you to do some stuff there. But hey, guys, amazing call. Thank you so much. Today's Monday. So tomorrow is CRM training, right, with Jesse at 12. And then Wednesday is our product call. So don't miss these call, guys. They're all out there for you. Appreciate you, Jordan, more than you know. Take care,
Thank
guys.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.